Hello everybody, John with Just Sports. Gonna continue to do NFL here, but we're gonna do an NFL 2-round mock draft. So, gonna start off with the Bengals, and I think their first pick overall will be Joe Burrow. And this is pretty concise amongst what I've seen amongst the expert, and I don't think that's going to change. I think it's Joe Burrow. He seems to be the best overall quarterback. So Joe Burrow to the Bengals, number one pick. The second pick, Redskins, I'm pretty convinced also it's going to be Chase Young. I know in one of my other videos I was talking about offensive line, and I kind of thought that because they were sticking with Haskins and they brought over Kyle Allen, but it's Ron Rivera, it's a new team. He's usually picking defense, and Chase Young is such a talent that it's probably just going to be hard for them to ignore. But I do think there is a small chance that this pick could be traded. I kind of doubt it, but there is a small chance. So number 3 is where I have my first trade. This is the Lions pick, but I do think they're going to end up trading this pick because they need a lot of help. Their coach could be out as early as the end of this year if he doesn't do well. And there's not one just overall super dynamic player at this point who's probably going to be super Hall of Fame and transition your club. So it kind of makes sense for the Lions to move down and get a few more picks in this draft to help their team overall. So I've got them trading this to the Chargers. The Chargers are at number 6. And the reason I have this trade is I think the Chargers want to come up and get Tua Tagovailoa. They have Tyrod Taylor at quarterback currently, who could start for them while Tua's healing. And in the meantime, if Tyrod, just doesn't do as well as they want, then when Tua's healthy, they can move to Tua and help sell tickets with them moving to the Los Angeles area and whatnot and all that. So it makes a lot of sense to me. Number 4, I have the Giants taking offensive tackle. They need to protect their young quarterback. Number 5, I have the Dolphins taking Justin Herbert. And the reason I don't have the Dolphins moving up in the trade with the Lions is because I think the Dolphins are going to feel confident with either quarterback they end up with. And instead of moving around their picks just to move up a few spots, they've got 3 picks in this first round. There's no reason for them to move away from it. They could walk away with 3 awesome players. And they could all work out. So Justin Herbert to the Dolphins, quarterback. And then, so the Lions now at number 6, and I've got them taking Jeff Okudah, a cornerback. After that, I've got we're on number 8, the Cardinals. I have them taking offensive line. They need to protect Kyler Murray. So Jedrick Willis, offensive lineman. Number 9 is the Jaguars. There could be a potential move up here as well. The only reason I didn't have the Jaguars moving up is because, it seems at the moment that they might like Gardner Minshew, but I also think for going from 9 to say 3 is a little bit tough. So I think they're probably going to have to sit with this pick here. I have them taking a cornerback, C.J. Henderson. They need corners anyway, so I think it's going to make sense for them to go ahead and pick their defensive corner right here. It could be a quarterback. If they're not sold on Minshew, this could be where somebody like Jordan Love or one of the other guys go, and we'll talk about that later. Number 10 is the Browns, offensive line. This could be best player available. It could be on the defense too, but I'm going to have them take an offensive line, trying to protect their young quarterback as well. So Andrew Thomas. Number 11, I have the Jets, and this is where I have the first wide receiver coming off the board, Jerry Jeudy. I think it just makes a lot of sense. They need to give Darnold weapons. Raiders at number 12, I also have taken a receiver, CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb's a big type receiver as well, can do it all. I think they would like to get their hands on him. I have 49ers are next. They've got to replenish their defensive line a little bit after trading off one of their guys. So Javon Kinlaw for that. Number 14 is where I have the next trade. And this is where I have the Jaguars moving up. I think at this point, we don't have any other quarterbacks coming off, and I think the Jaguars see this, and they know that the Bucs don't necessarily need a particular pick right here. They might need picks going forward in the future to prepare for Tom Brady's loss, and they could still end up getting an impact player at number 20. So I think the Buccaneers might very well move down here, and the Jaguars would end up taking Jordan Love at quarterback. because he's still there. So then we had the Broncos. I had the Broncos taking Henry Ruggs, replacing Emmanuel Sanders at wide receiver. The Falcons, I have taken the first linebacker off the board. Falcons need defense everywhere. This could be defensive line. This could be cornerback. So, but I have them taking Isaiah Simmons, linebacker. Cowboys are next at 17. I have them taking Clavion Chasen, edge rusher. 18 Dolphins, I have them taking offensive line to pair up with their quarterback. So I have Mekhi Becton. 19 Raiders, I have the Raiders taking a wide receiver, T. Higgins here. I think they're just going to load up on receivers. I kind of don't like making that pick, 2 wide receivers for the same team, but I don't know, what the heck, why not? You know, it's Gruden, and at one point when he went to Super Bowl, he had 2 awesome receivers. So something to think about. Buccaneers now. This was the trade with the Jaguars. So I have the Buccaneers taking the first running back off at number 20. I do think this is a little high, but this is also why I think the Buccaneers moved back. The only thing they're really missing on that roster, I know people talked about the right tackle. I think they probably have a guy they can have do it right now, but if you want to make an impact play, you've got your receivers. Everybody knows you're going to receive, throw the ball. What better way to shake it up than to draft Jonathan Taylor out of Wisconsin, good power back, take pressure off Tom Brady. All of a sudden, you got wide receivers, you got running backs. I mean, that offense will be just hopping, man. So I'm going with Jonathan Taylor right there at pick 20 for the Buccaneers. Eagles, I got them taking Justin Jefferson, receiver. They need a receiver bad. I'd be surprised if this is not a receiver pick for the Eagles. Vikings, I had them taking a corner, Christian Fulton. Patriots, I have them. Patriots always like to do something a little bit different, unexpected, it seems. They kind of zig when everybody zags. There's no safety that's been off the board. I have the first safety going right here, Xavier McKinnon. I know everybody's talking about quarterback, but I just don't see the Patriots doing that, especially with first round with as many as we've already had go off the board. Saints, I have them taking Patrick Queen, linebacker. Vikings, I have them taking a defensive line, Nelvin Gilmore. Dolphins, this is their 3rd pick in the first round. I have them taking DeAndre Swift, running back. So now they have the quarterback, the offensive line, and a running back. That team needs a lot of help offensively, so I could see this maybe being a defensive pick here. If the Dolphins think going for a second running back, the second running back's too high, but stick with that. Seattle, I have them taking an offensive line. It could very well be defensive line here, but you got to give protection to Russell Wilson. I mean, come on. So offensive line, Isaiah Wilson. Ravens, I had them taking a defensive edge, Yatir Gross-Matos. I think they'll be happy if he falls there. Titans, I have the Titans taking a cornerback. As of right now, we still don't have Logan Ryan. That seems to be the biggest need on our team. I know people have talked about the right tackle position, but there's a reason they signed Dennis Kelly. The guy played very well last year. They're going to promote him to a starter. So I don't see us taking offensive line. I think it's going to be corner. It could be an interior lineman or a defensive end. I mean, you know, the Vic Beasley signing doesn't necessarily convince me that they're not going to take a defensive end. I think it kind of depends on how many goes. But for my purposes, it makes a little more sense for the cornerback here. Packers, I had them taking a linebacker, Jordan Brooks. And then we have a trade coming up for the second round, which I'll talk in the next video. Chargers are going to trade, 49ers are going to trade with the Chargers. And I have the Chargers taking offensive lineman, Cesar Ruiz. I think the run on offensive linemen make the Chargers want to move up and protect their quarterback. Chiefs, Trayvon Diggs at corner. This video is kind of long, so that's the first round. I'm going to do a second video of the second round, so stay tuned for that.